This is group number 44 presenting a poster presentation on the topic AR gaming. I am Abhav Bansal and I'll be starting with it. So first of all, what do you get in your mind when you hear the word AR gaming? AR, augmented reality. Now first of all, I'm suggesting you do not mess it with virtual reality. These two are completely different aspects. Let me explain it to you. AR reality is an interactive experience of real-world environment that in which the objects that reside in real world are enhanced by computer-generated perceptual information, sometimes across multiple sensory modalities, including visual, auditory, haptic, somatosensory, and olfactory. AR can be defined as a system that fulfills three basic features: a combination of real, virtual world, real-time interaction, and accurate 3D registration of virtual and real objects. The overload sensory information can be consecutive, that is additive to the natural environment, or destructive, that is masking the natural environment totally. This experience is seamlessly interwoven with physical world such that it is perceived and as immersive aspect of the real environment. In this way, augmented reality alters one's ongoing perception of real-world environment, whereas virtual reality, on the other hand, completely replaces the user's real-world environment with a simulated one. Augmented reality is related to two largely synonym terms, namely mixed reality and computer-mediated reality. Now, the primary value of augmented reality is the manner in which components of the digital world blend into person's perception of the real world, not as a simple display of data, but through the integration of immersive sensations which are perceived as a natural part of the environment. The earliest functional AR systems that provided immersive mixed reality experience for users were invented in early 1990s. Remember that it was invented so early, starting with virtual fixtures that systems developed at the US Air Force Armstrong Laboratory. Commercial augmented experiences were first introduced in entertainment and gaming business. So now I would like to call my friend Varun Agarwal, who will tell you about the major application of AR, augmented reality, that is AR gaming. Thank you.
Augmented reality has certainly revolutionized the traditional aspect of gaming. An augmented reality game often superimposes a pre-created environment on top of a user's actual environment. The game itself can be made as simple as a game of virtual checkers played on a table surface. More advanced AR games may actually build an environment from user surroundings. Such a game could involve, for instance, in-game characters climbing from coffee tables to sofas on virtual bridges. Environment creation is a time-consuming task in game making, and there is a constant demand for new scenery because once a user has explored an environment fully, there would be a move to move on to a different one. AR gaming expands the playing field, taking advantage of the diversity of the real-world environment to keep the games interesting. AR is the integration of game visual and audio content with the user's environment in real time. Unlike virtual reality gaming, which often requires a separate room or confined area to create an immersive environment, augmented reality gaming uses the existing environment and creates a playing field within it. While virtual reality game requires specialized VR headsets, only some augmented reality systems use them. AR games are typically played on devices like smartphones, tablets, and portable gaming systems. Such is the magic of this AR technology. Now you all must be very familiar with the game Pokemon Go and must have played. What is it? It is an actual application of augmented reality. Now what is actually inside that game, my friend Santil Pradhan will provide you the in-depth of augmented reality implemented in this game.
Now, unlike VR gaming, which often requires a separate room or a confined area to create an immersive environment, augmented reality gaming uses existing environment and creates a playing field within it. AR games are typically played on devices like smartphones, tablets, and portable gaming systems. An AR game often superimposes a pre-created environment on the top of a user's actual environment. Now, I'm going to tell you about one of the most famous AR games, Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go, considered to be the breakthrough AR app for gaming, it uses a smartphone's camera, gyroscope, clock, and a GPS to enable its location-based AR environment. A map of current environment displays on screen, and a rustle of grass indicates presence of Pokemon, and a tap of screen brings up the capture display. Pokemon Go was published and developed by a company called Niantic. It was first published during July 2016 and in other regions over the next few months. The game is the result of a collaboration between Niantic, Nintendo, and the Pokemon Go company and allows the player to live in the magical world of Pokemon. It uses mobile device GPS to locate, capture, battle, and train over 150 species of virtual creatures called Pokemon. It was one of the most used and profitable app in 2016. It's credited with popularizing location-based and AR tech, promoting physical activity and helping local businesses grow due to increased footfalls. However, it attracted controversy for contributing to accidents and creating nuisances in public due to its player being absent-minded. Various governments expressed concerns over the security, and some countries regulate its use. When a player encounters a Pokemon, it may be viewed either in AR mode, or with a live rendered mode. When the user uses the AR mode, it uses a camera and gyroscope on the player's mobile to form the display of the image of the Pokemon. Niantic used the crowdsourced data from Ingress to populate the locations and also used data from Google Maps to spawn specific Pokemon. With the coming generation, a lot of AR games are coming like Jurassic World Alive, Jenga AR, etc., etc. And with the current popularity, we can say that its demand is going to increase. Now, my friend Anish Bhatia will tell you about one of the applications of AR, that is AR glasses.
When the tech giant presented its ubiquitous computer, one you could wear on your face at all times, it raised all kinds of ethical questions about security, terms of service, and of course privacy. The backlash was fast and intense. Adoption was non-existent. It was a complete failure, or was it? Fast forward a few years, and it turns out AR glasses are actually finding a second wind. Packed with powerful AI algorithms, the glasses are now used by workers in the factories of some of the biggest manufacturers in the world. From first-person videos and photos to turn-by-turn directions, health sensing, and facial recognition, the invasion of the smart glasses is very much in progress. The basic idea of augmented reality is to superimpose graphics, audio, and other sensory enhancements over a real-world environment in real time. AR displays can be rendered on devices resembling eyeglasses. Versions include eyewear that employs camera to intercept the real-world view and redisplay its augmented view through eyepieces, and devices in which the AR imagery is projected through or reflected off the surfaces of the eyewear lens pieces. Near augmented reality devices can be used as portable heads-up displays, as they can show data, information, and images while the user views the real world. Many definitions of augmented reality only define it as overlaying the information. This is basically what a heads-up display does. However, practically speaking, AR is expected to include registration and tracking between the superimposed perceptions, sensations, information, data, and images, and some portion of the real world. In AR, the distinction is made between two distinct modes of tracking, known as marker and markerless. Markers are visual cues which trigger the display of the virtual information. The camera recognizes the geometries by identifying specific points in the drawing. Markerless tracking, also called instant tracking, does not use markers. Instead, the user positions the object in the camera view, preferably in a horizontal plane. It uses sensors in mobile devices to accurately detect the real-world environment, such as the locations of walls and points of intersection. Now we believe that the AR technology currently in development has a long way to go. In fact, we foresee a huge uptick in AR glasses adoption in the next few years as more and more consumers warm to the technology. Now I would like to call my friend Dhruv to speak on the topic, to speak about the future of AR technology.
AR gaming would be highly effective in the upcoming fast world. AR gaming is a nice compromise between traditional gaming and pure virtual reality. All we require is a basic smartphone. AR gaming overlaps the digital virtual world on the real physical world. So gamers, rather than seeing their characters walk around, they can effectively become a character and play around. AR gaming has been proven highly effective on smartphones with games such as Pokemon Go. All we require the basic connections, and with 5G's round the corner, and getting speed up to 10 Gbps per second, the gaming experience would be really smooth. With apps such as Place apps, which virtually pause the record. which virtually with apps such as Place apps, which helps the user to virtually draw furniture on their room without even buying it. Microsoft HoloLens is a self-contained mixed reality headset with Wi-Fi. The AR gaming market is said to grow from $900 million to say $50 to $70 billion by 2023. Mind you, billion dollars. Whereas the virtual reality market is said to grow from 300 to 15 to 20 billion dollars. With all this, we would be very keen to see how the AR gaming affects the gaming world. With all this, I would like to conclude our topic.